Good morning, Scott School, on this terrific Tuesday, April 18th. Ah, that weather sure did take a turn. It went from warm and sunny last week with shorts weathers and t-shirt weather to all of a sudden we have pants and coats and hats and all the good things. It looks like by the end of the week, boys and girls, the temperature should rise again. Not nearly as warm as it was last week, but be on the lookout for that temperature switch. And again, I strongly encourage wearing layers because it allows you to be warm in the morning and then to peel off those zip up sweatshirts or hoodies later in the day so you're not sweaty or moist, as Mrs. Schwartz would call it. Boys and girls, I do want to give 3 cheers, yay, 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 to third graders who completed, or most of our third graders completed the ELA step last week. I tell you what, my heart was full. You were rocking it out, demonstrating perseverance, hard work, and best effort. It really was a joy to see. So great job with that. Teachers, shout out to you as well. I know that that alters your schedule quite a bit, and you rocked with it, and it was just a really smooth week. Today, boys and girls, for third grade, we start the Math M Step. So we will test Math M Step today. We will skip tomorrow for testing with the Math M Step, and then we will test again on Thursday. However, tomorrow we may, Mrs. Schwartz, myself, and maybe Mrs. Miller, we might do some pulling of students who need to finish the ELA MSTEP, but there aren't very many of you left. So great work. Work hard this week, boys and girls. I know that you can do it. Just give your best effort. That's all we ask. And use those strategies to calm yourself if you're feeling a little anxious. The other thing I want to remind you of is on the MSTEP, boys and girls, you cannot use a calculator, and we don't use much of those here at Scott School anyway, but there are tools that you can use on the MSTEP. So you can look at the certain tools off to the corner, and I know your teacher walked through those with you before we started testing, so you can use those if you need to. The other thing that you may use, and you could have used this for the ELA MSTEP as well, but it's probably more helpful for the math MSTEP, is a sheet of paper and a pencil. So instead of guessing, boys and girls, use that paper, work out your problem, show your work, draw pictures, use the strategies you know, like arrays and things like that to help you solve these problems because we know you're ready to take it. And sometimes just putting that little effort in will really help you eliminate some of the answers that definitely are incorrect, and you can narrow it down to the best choice. So that's something to remember today when you're starting the math MSTEP. Our Fab with Vocab word of the week is inclusion. And inclusion is a noun, and it means act of including all. And the handy dandy illustration here has lots of boys and girls here. One says inclusion allows all of us to have fun at recess, which is so very true. Be a bucket filler, boys and girls. Include others, even if they're not someone that you necessarily would play with outside of school. You might meet a new friend or make a new friend. You might learn that you have more in common with someone than you realize. And by demonstrating inclusion, you can learn new things about other people. And it just really is cool to expand our friend group. The last thing I want to share with you, boys and girls, is tomorrow is a CLT day, which means it's an early release day. We will dismiss at 11:57 a.m. And I will be sure to send a reminder to families today. But boys and girls, also do your part and remind your families or your parents, your guardians, that tomorrow we will get out early and then talk about after school care and arrangements for transportation if they're different than typical. And now on to Mrs. Schwartz.
Why, thank you, Ranger Reha. Friends, we've got some amazing Panther Pride winners this morning from Mr. Whitfield's class. Ian and Isla from Miss Sovie's class, Colin and Jay. From Miss Poosfarush's class, Callie and Sydney. From Miss Bry's class, Macy and Riker. From Mrs. Toth's class, Dane and Briella. From Ms. Zaratni's class, Bennett and Hannah. From Miss Anderson's class, Parker and Lena. From Miss Denning's class, Addison and Lincoln. And Amelia and Elliot. And from Miss Crumb's class, Sloan and Soraya and Mateo and Eleanor. Congratulations, everybody. So very proud of you when you demonstrate that safe, respectful, and responsible behavior. Now let's all please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Have a truly terrific Tuesday, Scott School.